Legends tell of a brave hero from long ago. A boy who never allowed his milk allergy to prevent him from facing life's challenges head-on. With dreams of questing and exploring the land, he decided that it was finally time to quench his boundless thirst for adventure and journey into unknown places to see what treasures and horrors lie in wait. Creating prosperity and bringing justice wherever he goes. This is the story of Eric the Knight. Hello and welcome everybody. I'm joined by my great friend today, Eric, who I've known for 13 years now, I believe.
Close.
We've been friends for a long time. Weirdly, we've never played D&D together. Like, we're in a campaign now with friends, but before that, you and I have never actually done any kind of sit-down D&D stuff before. So you have this character, your name is Eric the Knight. Basically, man, I mean, you play a knight, loyal to the crown, just kind of a noble type. What do you got over there?
I read my flaws.
What's your flaw?
My flaw is I can't drink milk.
Weird. Okay, well, not everybody's perfect, so don't get too down on yourself about that, man. You also have a pet snake, a little green garden snake. You can go ahead and name him right there with your pen.
I'm allowed to?
Yes, you get to give him a name. What would you like your snake's name to be?
Naming him Rob.
You name him Rob. Rob the snake?
Yep.
Okay, good boy. Okay, man, I mean, how you feeling?
I'm feeling ready.
You feeling ready?
I'm feeling ready.
All right, you ready to begin? All right. Ever since you, Eric, could remember, you've always wanted to become a knight. You dreamed of protecting the citizens of the kingdom and would cringe at stories told of crooked lawmen who would turn a blind eye to the suffering in need. However, tragedy struck you. Being allergic to milk, you were rejected by the Knights Academy. Not getting accepted as a knight to you, Eric, was unacceptable. So you decided then it was time to take matters into your own hands. Growing frustrated, you scraped together all of your gold and purchased your own set of silver armor. With no ideas of what adventures lied ahead, you ventured out into the world in hopes of delivering justice to those in need. From this point forward, you would simply be known as Eric the Knight. So, traveling by foot, along with your animal companion, your small, garden variety green snake friend, Rob, riding atop your shoulder, after a whole month of adventuring and still not finding anyone in need, you begin to worry that becoming a vigilante knight is just a bad idea. However, recently you started to follow hearsay about a series of missing puppies. With each town you travel to, you grow more and more suspicious as the story always just seems to be the same. A family or an individual would put their puppy outside for the night, and the next morning they would find their leashes cut and their puppies missing. You've seen so many children crying out for their pets that the visual will forever be burned into your mind. You try to contact authorities, but the knights won't listen to you, saying things like, "Hey, ain't you that little bitch who can't drink milk? Us real knights have more important things to do than go on some kind of wild puppy goose chase. Leave the real knighting to the professionals. Faggot." These are dark times. Feeling confident that you feel that you may have just found a way to be useful, those children need their puppies, and there's been way too many disappearances for this to be a coincidence. You take it upon yourself to swear a personal oath that you will solve this mystery and bring whoever or whatever is behind it to justice. And so, our story begins in the cool spring months on the outskirts of the southwest coast of the Border Kingdom. After your latest trek, you finally begin to close in on this small, unimportant dirt road by which whispers have led you to. You have a strong hunch that this route will provide you with some more clues about our misplaced canine friends. So, as you set on this seemingly inconspicuous dirt trail, wind on your chest, nothing but blue skies and open plains, mountains, your tiny snake friend Rob, right, sitting there, he looks up at you and what seems to be a smile as if to say, "You got this, buddy." So, is there anything that you'd like to do to prepare for your trek down this dirt road?
It seems like I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool.
I have my longsword on my side, right?
Correct, you have a long sword, you have all your equipment there if you want to just read off for the camera actually.
I have a longsword, a long bow, 5 crossbow bolts.
Yes.
A bedroll, 3 rations, a water skin, a tinder box, 3 torches, 2 sets of rope at 50 feet each, a grappling hook, and the snake.
That's it. Okay, cool, great. So this location that you're in, right? It's very flat ground. You know, you're far away from any kind of civilization. You know, having said that, in your travels, maybe you've seen a few carts or travelers here and there, but you know, nothing really important. You know, mostly looking out into the distance, you just see these open fields. You know, maybe mountains very far away. You know, looking down the dirt path that you're on directly, you see after about 5 miles that it hits trees, right? What looks to be maybe some sort of forest. It's hard to see from this distance, but those are your immediate surroundings.
Okay. The path leads to the forest, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Okay. Just go towards the forest.
Okay, cool. So, kind of just walking down the road, you know, making your way down this dirt road, you and Rob have a relaxing jaunt, right? The weather's nice, the air is full, it's the middle of the day. You do see a distinct landmark up ahead, right? You're approaching this single large lone boulder. It's about 7 feet high, round. You know, and so as you're enjoying your walk, you notice this pitchfork sticking out from behind the boulder. And as you approach a little closer, out walk 2 dairy farmers. So both wearing matching clothing, white t-shirts, dark denim overalls, work boots. One guy's shorter and stubbier, the other one's more lanky and tall. And the shorter of the one is the one that's wielding the pitchfork. Hey you! Word on the street is you're that milkless bitch who can't drink milk! People like you are ruining the milk industry! Ah! And one of them is actually running towards you in a blind rage with pitchfork in hand. Roll initiative, please. What is it?
5.
Okay. Well, you beat one of them.
Okay.
Alrighty. So the shorter of the two, the one that's charging at you, he's going to attempt to, you know, skewer you with his pitchfork. You take 5 points of piercing damage as you're stabbed in the abdomen by one of the 4 metal prongs. Eat shit and die, you milkless devil! You're up. What are you doing?
The other one's in the distance, right?
There's one that's closer to you with the pitchfork, and then there's the further one who didn't rush up.
Okay, I'll hit the one close to me with the longsword.
Okay, go ahead and roll attack.
18.
18, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
11.
11. Okay. So you swing your sword at the shorter one in front of you. In one powerful slash, you slice open a giant gash across his chest, cutting through his overalls, his skin. As he falls to his knees in disbelief, he's like, "Well, I'll be a cow's ass. You ain't half as bitchy as you look, but you're still not a man." And before falling into the road lifeless, the other one's like, "You killed my partner. You're gonna pay for that." Now before that happens, it's actually Rob's turn. Your snake, he gets a little turn as well. So what would you like him to do?
Is the one that I cut in half still, like, he's still alive?
He's dead.
Okay, he's dead.
You just killed a guy.
Cool. I guess Rob should move up and bite him. Weapon melee attack.
Okay. Go for a roll attack.
There's nothing to add to it, just...
No.
Okay, 19.
Okay, that hits. So he slithers up forward, pretty unnoticed, right? Up the pant leg of the dairy farmer, bites down to his ankle. Roll me a d4.
3.
Rolling 3 points of damage. He's like, what in tarnation? He kicks his foot and, outrolls Rob, kind of flying out of his pant leg, tumbling onto the ground behind you, completely unharmed, kind of just hissing back, right, at the farmer. So now it's the other dairy farmer's turn, the taller one. You see him kind of grimacing. He reaches into his big pouch in his overalls and pulls out a heavy glass jar of milk. He's going to make an attempt to throw it in your direction. Natural 17, that hits. So first, you take just 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the impact of the heavy jar. Can you go ahead and roll a percentile dice for me? It's the 2 10s.
87.
Okay, so the impact of the glass jar shatters on you when it hits. So you, in addition to the 1 damage that you take, you also take 7 additional points of damage from the sting as the milk. As you are allergic, you're weak to milk-based attacks. So right after that blast of heavy glass, you feel this burning sensation on your skin. Feels like magma to your flesh. So he's like, "Drink milk, you demon!" And that's the end of his turn. So now it is your turn again. What are you
I'm
doing?
gonna run up and slash him.
Okay, roll for attack.
8.
Unfortunately, it's not hit. Okay, so the remaining dairy farmer, he's kind of still very enraged about, his business partner being killed. And so, you start seeing him getting angry. He's just like, you killed my partner. I'm sick of you milk allergy losers always making a joke of this dairy industry. Maybe it's time I show you the real power of milk. He busts out yet another hefty jar of milk from his overalls, but instead of throwing it at you, he actually pops the cork off and begins chugging it. He downs the entire bottle, and his hair starts blowing back, his muscles pop and create a tear in his shirt. He casually walks over to the 7-foot boulder and swats down. Ah! This is the power of people who aren't allergic. Maybe next time you'll come back as a man. Now it is your snake's turn, but he's done a transformation a bit there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Rob's gonna roll up on him and bite him, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
11.
11. That just misses. Just misses. Okay, so it is this guy's turn. He's looking down at your snake, and he's going to attempt to, kind of stomp on your snake. He's going to attempt to, kind of make a step on him. How many hit points does your snake have?
3.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so that definitely hits. 2 points of damage.
He's alive.
Okay, he can still have another day. Trampling on his tail, Rob lets out an angered hiss, but luckily he's still alive. And I'll say that this guy maybe he's on 1 foot now while holding this massive boulder. So much like in real life, you can see the strengthening effects of the milk wearing off a little. So I'll give you advantage on your next attack since he's still holding the boulder.
Okay.
But it is your move now. What are you doing?
I'd like to use second wind to get some health back.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
It's a D10, right?
D10, yep.
I got 10.
Okay, well, perfect. And then when you're ready, go ahead and...
yeah, I'd like to slash him.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
With advantage?
Yes.
First one was 16, and the second one was a natural 20.
Okay. So, he looks up to you and realizes what's about to happen. As you cut him down, roll another percentile die for me real quick.
21.
Okay, so your attack is enough to just have him drop the boulder right on himself. So, as his body gives way from this giant attack here, which you're going to do, roll for damage.
10.
Okay, so in addition to 10, he also takes 20 damage from the boulder. In addition to that, that he took earlier, this guy's just been eradicated completely. So you just completely destroyed this guy. So as the dust kind of settles, you see these 2 lifeless corpses of these ridiculous dairy farmers, lying there motionless. You kind of even wonder what made them think this was a good idea. The battle is won. Weirdly, your resolve is strengthened. After seeing the types of wrongdoers that exist in the world, you're almost like more certain that being a knight was the right move, although an unofficial knight. You don't sense any more danger nearby, right? You look off into the distant field of mountains, feel the wind. Minus that encounter, your surroundings, they're now peaceful again. What are you doing?
Do those guys have any valuables on them?
Roll for investigation.
3.
Okay. So the very obvious thing that they do have is they have some loot. So you just find some gold coins. Comes to about 10 gold. It looks to be like it's maybe their dairy farm profits. That dairy money.
I stole their dairy money.
Yeah,
Okay.
that dairy money.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll just keep going.
Okay.
Is there anything I can give to Rob to heal him a little bit?
Like if you want
Feed him or something?
Do you want to look around or?
Yeah, they didn't have any potions on them, obviously. So I don't have any potions on me either. So yeah, I guess that's it. We'll just continue down the path towards the forest.
All right. So getting back down on the road, you and Rob enjoy the serenity of the open plains. The skies are still blue and clear for now, although, however, you can see in the further distance that there's some darker gray clouds coming in from the west. Maybe by the time you reach the farthest ahead, it might encounter a bit of rain. The walk for now, though, is very peaceful and soothing. It doesn't seem to be any more, clues anywhere or anything about these dogs. The next real landmark you see up ahead for now is this big, on the left side of the road, you see a very flashy looking wagon up ahead. Stationary for now, big wheels. It looks definitely like it's currently being occupied by someone. As the front of the large wagon has this awning and big open window, right? You can kind of gather the vibe that it's some sort of maybe traveling merchant or vendor. As you draw closer and closer to the scene, you're able to make out more details. Aesthetically speaking, it's painted mostly white with black spots, right? It kind of looks like a cow. Over the top of the wagon, there's a well-crafted sign that reads "Mommy's Milky." And as you approach right up to the cart, you see it's pretty dark inside. It's pretty well shaded, but you see a figure within just kind of cleaning out a glass with a rag. As your eyes adjust from the sun, you see a large, fairly attractive female with a heaping bosom, and for lack of better words, her uniform is like a headband with two stubby little cow horns, and the outfit itself is mostly white with black spots. She looks to be the sole operator of this establishment, and she peers over in your direction. When you approach, you just kind of hear her, well, you must be my knight in shining armor.
Okay. Hello there. What are you selling here?
Hi there. This is the one and only traveling milk stand. I'm Betsy, you cutie. You can call me Mommy's Milky.
That's a lovely name you have.
What's your name?
I am Eric the Knight.
Eric the Dreamy Knight.
Yeah.
Tell me, Eric, what's a big, strong knight like you doing all the way out here? Am I under arrest? Wait, shush. Say no more. I know exactly why you're here. You'd like some quest items.
That is exactly what I'm doing.
And a romantic relationship.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's so perfect. We'll tell our grandchildren that you swept me off my feet and carried me off into the sunset on horseback. I know that's not exactly true, but no one has to know. We'll have a whole mill-themed wedding. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Why don't we get those measly quest items out of the way first? Boom! She puts this giant wooden chest, big kind of metal rings on each side, drops it on the counter in front of you. While Mommy's Milky normally only serves Milky, travelers come and go and forget their belongings. Have a peek inside.
I don't know, crack it open.
Roll perception.
Natural 1. So 3.
Okay, so you're only able to find a couple things, but they're all pretty good. Some good things. The one major thing that was very obvious that you could find is you can find a health potion. It takes you to full health. There's a gadget that's kind of an early prototype, like of an umbrella. It seems to work. A dog whistle, and a very torn and tattered book of snake tricks.
Health potion, dog whistle, umbrella, you said?
Those are the only things you're able to find.
And a tattered book of snake tricks.
Health potion, umbrella, basically. Dog whistle, snake trick book.
Okay, if I read through the book of snake tricks, what do I say?
You need to pay for that if you're gonna be, this is in a library.
This is a library, okay. How much for the snake book?
So normally everything in that chest is $1 each. But for a limited time only, everything's just 5 silver for the cutest knight in the world.
Yeah, okay. I'll buy it all 4.
Okay.
So how much is that in gold?
I don't really know. 5 silver is half a gold, but in my world it is, so it's 2 gold.
Oh, 2 gold.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So you are now the proud owner of these 4 quest items.
Ooh, you're mad for me.
So, Dreamboat,
Mm-hmm.
how about a toast to our new relationship? She hands you an empty glass, and pours you some fresh milk. Although you don't see any cows around, this one's on the house. Cheers. She kind of downs her milk.
As she's downing her milk, I kind of just kind of ditch it out the leg.
Roll for stealth.
Stealth. I rolled a 1.
Something wrong, Eric? You barely touched your milk.
Oh, I just ran into some dairy farmers out there. They already gave me some milk, so I'm a bit full on milk right now.
Wait a minute. Aren't you that famous wannabe knight who can't drink milk? She suddenly, her face changes. She gets very sad. She's just like, you can't. But you and I, oh, Eric, we were supposed to be together to the end of our days. You would carry me in your big, strong arms, and I would serve you milk whenever you needed. Oh, the aching pains in my heart to seek that lover that my soul has quenched for eons, only to find him a cursed shell of a man. That is the truest definition of tragedy. I'm afraid this is where our journey splits, Eric. But I will never forget the milkless knight who stole my heart. Oh, if you weren't such a weak beta male. But I don't want to hate you. I want to remember you as the man that I met all those minutes ago. So go. Leave me be so that I may mourn the loss of our perfect relationship. I do not wish to speak to you right now. It will only worsen my sadness.
Okay. See ya.
Alright.
Leave.
What are you doing now?
Keep going towards the forest.
Okay. So heading back on your path.
Ooh, pause.
Ooh.
A little ways down the road, I'll stop and open up the snake book and try to teach Rob some snake tricks.
Okay, cool. Would you like to just do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to read through the snake book.
You can sit down and teach your pet snake new skills to be used in battle. Yep.
Okay, why don't you roll for investigation?
Investigation.
See what you can learn from this book.
14.
Okay, that's not bad. So you sit down to read this book, and it's very strange. First of all, it's used and battered, so there's a lot of pages ripped out. Mostly tricks for bigger snakes also, so a lot of these won't apply, as Rob is only about this big. A lot of the smaller snake tricks are also mere parlor tricks, getting the spin around or something stupid. But the useful tricks that you find is you're able to double his attack strength by teaching him how to bind, and you're also able to teach him a very strange technique in which he's able to close up a man's dick hole.
I'll write that down.
This will take about 5 minutes to teach him these things. Would you like to do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is your upgraded snake. Why don't you go ahead and write Rob on top of that?
Okay. He's still at 1 health, right?
Correct. This does not heal him.
Okey-dokey.
This makes him stronger.
Bite/bind, 2d4, close up a man's dick hole. Reach 5 feet. One target binds itself around any penis and prevents anything from coming in or out of the opener.
It's a weird book. It's not me. This is the book.
This is the book. Yes.
Okay. So you're making your way towards the forest, you said? That's what you want to do?
Yep.
Okay. So approaching the forest, as you head down your path with these newly acquired items, the wind's picked up, the darker clouds are now closing in a little more. It feels like it's gonna rain. You arrive at the outskirt of a large forest. And, in your search for information regarding the missing puppies, the stories that you heard, they spoke of this long-forgotten meadow that's supposedly hidden somewhere deep within this forest that could contain more answers. So before heading to this forest, is there anything you'd like to do to prepare at all?
Can I give the dog whistle a shot? Just to see if any
go ahead.
thoughts come out? What should I roll? Just d20?
Yeah, we'll just roll. We'll say you just whistle the dog. You can roll for what you hear. You can listen.
6.
This is you listen.
This is me listening.
Okay, so you blow the whistle. You don't hear anything.
Okay.
You're making your way inside?
Yep.
Okay. So as you enter this forest, there's definitely this feeling of mystery surrounding it, just in the air. The temperature drops a little bit. Pretty much right after you enter, the grayish clouds kind of finally rolled in from the west. And while it doesn't start pouring or anything, it does get misty and foggy. A little bit of mist, a little bit of fog within the forest. And while the forest itself does at first feel peaceful, you get this sudden jolt as internally, for just a brief second, you sense something evil coming deeper and deeper within the forest. It almost frightens you for a moment, and then you hear a strange noise very close to you. Roll for perception.
Natural 20.
Okay. So you see the presence of something rustling in the bushes right next to you, and it just you already kind of get the idea that maybe it's some sort of animal, but you maybe take your sword and just kind of bat around, and it out just runs a young boar, and it sees you and it just runs off.
Okay.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
$17.
Okay, so just as you're stepping backwards from that encounter, the last second you glance down where you were going to step, and you notice a hidden rope snare under the leaves on the forest floor. So you were about to step there, and by examining it, you see that there's a hidden pressure plate that, when triggered, would wrap the snare around your leg and carry you high up into the canopy. Luckily, you've noticed it, or you would have taken some fall damage to get down.
Okay. I don't see any signs of any humans out here, do I?
Would you like to proceed around?
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at first at the leftover components of the trap where you originally stepped, it's well made, right? It's designed to be hidden. You're looking at this and you're like, whoa, this is very, very intricate and designed to be very well hidden. Looking around, you don't sense anybody. And also too, would you roll for that?
For what?
Did you roll for looking around perception?
Not yet.
Oh, go ahead and roll.
15.
15. Okay, so you do notice a shimmering object about 20 feet in from the beaten path of the forest. Approaching up to it, it looks to be a big mossy old log hollowed out from rot and bugs. And inside the object that caught your attention, the glimmer, you find an old, dirty dog collar. Mostly fabric with a little buckle on the side. Doesn't seem to be anything else around. No name. Just sort of raises more questions than answers. But you get the sense that you're on the verge of uncovering something big.
Okay. Do I see any traps maybe that would have caught the dog or something?
No, you don't. This is everything you looked around. You see there that one trap that's still set, and then you back on the beaten path. There doesn't appear to be any traps nearby.
Okay.
Or people.
I suppose I'll keep going down the road then.
Alright. So as you make your way deeper into this forest, the light mist and the fog kind of not letting up, it's created this weird, cozy atmosphere. The forest itself is quiet. It's quite peaceful. As you make your way down the path, you find a certain beauty in the stillness. Even Rob seems to be positively affected by the environment. You don't seem to sense any more danger in your immediate surroundings. You get the sense that this forest is usually a relaxing place, right? A serene place. It's untouched by man. Although this dirt path that you're following is quite interesting because it abruptly sort of comes to a halt as you arrive at the hidden forest meadow. So coming to this meadow, just what you see is a very large square clearing, about maybe 4 acres and in total. And the ground, which looks like it should be flat, is extremely lumpy, right? So there's really thick grass and moss covering what looks to be a lot of older stone structures, which are kind of protruding out of the ground, these protruding light gray stones. So as you step into the meadow, you see all this, and then you also get this weird sense that you're being watched. It's eerie.
Okay. So this looks like abandoned, like humans haven't been here for a while.
Seems like there's no one around. Seems abandoned.
Okay. Does it seem like a safe place to take a short rest with Rob?
Yeah, you can take a short rest with Rob.
Short rest? Okay, I just want to heal Rob up, that's all.
Okay, sure. So we'll say that you guys took a little break for an hour. Are you using any hit die on yourself or anything like that?
I would use a hit die on Rob, but not me.
Got it. So his health is what?
3 is the max. 1 is the current.
So you're gonna use a hit die. Why don't you just roll the d10?
D10. 6.
Okay, that heals him back up. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, you take a little bit of a rest. There is that feeling of something's watching you, but you didn't encounter anything, luckily, during that
Nothing came
encounter.
out.
Nothing came out and jumped at you. Seems to be quiet, but you do have this weird sense in the back of your head.
Okay, can I investigate some of the ruins you said?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll for that? Roll perception. Or, you can roll investigation.
8.
What is it?
8.
8? Okay. So you don't really get the idea of who lived here or anything like that, but coming out and seeing these different things, examining the stonework, the cobblestone walkways kind of beneath the grass and the moss, you get these ideas that these stones were used. They used to be small buildings back in their time. It's some sort of old village where people used to live. In the center of this village stands a pretty intact well. The most interesting quality about it is that it's standing still and it doesn't seem to be covered in as much moss and grass as the rest of the area. One last thing, go ahead and roll perception for me real quick.
17.
Okay, so high above this meadow, in a circular pattern, flies one single unidentifiable bird, just slowly flying in the air in a wide circle, but it seems to be just right above the meadow. Right above you. Looks to be the size of a hawk, maybe 500 feet in the air.
Okay. Do I get the sense that the hawk is following me as I go through this forest?
You can't really perceive that.
Can't perceive it. Okay. And the well you said is well maintained almost.
It's weirdly
It's not covered in
as
moss.
covered in moss as the rest of this place. It weirdly stands out in this way that you can't explain.
Okay. Can I operate the well and try to get some
You
water?
want to check the well out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, as you inspect the well, I mentioned before the outer perimeter is not really covered in anything. Putting your hands on the edge of the well and looking down, it's too far to see how it goes. There's no, wooden thing over it or anything. It's just straight up, just the well. However, also where your hands touch, you notice short pieces of hair or fur.
Okay. Can I investigate the hair and try to figure out what kind of hair it is?
Well,
Is it a boar? Is it
Do a animal handling check.
4.
Okay. I mean, after smelling it, you can't really identify. But dog hair isn't one of the things that you still can't rule out. So it's could potentially be.
Okay. Can I blow the dog whistle again?
Yeah, go ahead. And then you'll be rolling for perception to listen.
Natural 1.
Okay. So you roll the whistle and you don't hear anything.
Okay.
You're wondering if it works.
Can I call out down the well? Just yell?
Sure. Go ahead and yell. Go ahead and roll yell.
Hello!
No. Yeah, you yell and you hear it kind of go down for quite a bit. It actually
You hear echo come back.
it kind of almost takes a little bit for it to come back. Actually,
Yeah. Could I take a guess at how deep it is?
you can't tell by looking. It gets dark pretty quickly.
Okay. Can I take a torch, light it, and throw it down?
Sure. So you do that, right? You light a torch. Light one of your torches, throw it down the well, and you see it go. Fall. You follow it until finally it hits flat ground, and it looks to be about 100 feet.
So it's dry.
Dry. You hear the sound of the torch clattering against the dry and it echoing back up.
Okay. I'd like to use the 50-foot rope, I guess, to try to see if I can tie that at the top and
Okay.
see if it reaches the bottom first.
You have your grappling hook.
Yeah, so use the grappling hook.
Would you like to affix the rope to the grappling hook? Just one of the 50 feet.
I want to know if I throw it out there and let it down, is it going to reach the bottom?
Okay, sure. You're gonna drop. You
Just
drop some.
hold one end and drop it.
Okay. You drop some rope. Seems okay.
Seems like it reaches the bottom perfectly fine.
No, it doesn't reach the bottom. A 50-foot rope does not. 50-foot rope goes about halfway.
Okay, so if I tie it, can I
Two
try
together.
tying them two
You
together?
want to tie them both together.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you roll for dexterity for the knot?
Just dexterity, 15.
Okay, yeah, you seem to really get a good knot going. You know, you took camp once. So, yeah, it seems to be
Boy
going.
Scout.
It seems to be good. So now you have a 100-foot rope, and I imagine the grappling hook too at the end?
Grappling hook at the end, yeah.
Okay.
If I drop it down, it reaches the bottom.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll try to go down.
Okay. So as you affix your grappling hook to the side of this well, this cobblestone well, the well seems to have some real good masonry put into it. Actually, seems to be like there's some good metal braces inside the cement or something to keep it from so it's sturdy. As you begin to lower yourselves into the depths, just for the hell of it, roll an acrobatics check, just a standard acrobatics.
14.
Okay, yeah. So kind of looking back up at the gray skies, you begin to get the chills as you kind of get into this well, and it starts to the light leaves you. As you leave the hidden meadow area, descend lower and lower. You carefully press your feet against the wall and climb down. It gets too dark to even see the rope, and now the only thing visible is the kind of ever shrinking opening of the well above. You descend lower.
Is my torch still down there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It doesn't light up the whole.
Right, but I can see the ground.
You can see the ground. Yeah. So you're going down, right? And then finally you reach the bottom. You feel the ground beneath you. You kind of stand up. No water, and everything's pitch black. You pick up your torch, and you see a big illuminated archway. It's the stonework is a little bit different than the well. It actually feels a little newer, and it feels different. It feels like different rocks. It's this tunnel.
Okay. Does it seem like a path that has been used frequently or anything?
Roll for investigation.
15.
It seems to be so the ground is also like stonish, maybe cement, something like that. You can't see any like footprints or anything, but the nature of the work inside this suggests that the well is much older than the tunnel, and that this has been built within your lifetime at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I give the dog whistle one more shot.
Go ahead. And then you're gonna roll for perception. Okay.
Yes. 5.
Okay. Blowing the whistle really hard, maybe twice. You don't hear anything.
Okay. And looking, is the well only going one direction or both directions? Like,
So there's one open tunnel, and then what you can see from where you're standing is a hallway that goes about 50 or 60 feet, and then there's two directions.
2 directions. Okay. And I can't see any light or any sign or anything down any of these?
No, it's just your torch light.
Just a torchlight. Okay. Can I look around in this room that I'm in to see if I find anybody or anything? Or,
Go ahead.
Yeah. What other roll?
Investigation.
11.
Actually pretty clean down here.
Very clean.
Very clean. Just your torch you picked up. Not even a rock.
So everything is just as it is. Okay.
It's a circular little room for the well, and then just one side just has this tunnel that looks like it shouldn't even be there.
Okay. I'll walk down the tunnel, I guess.
Okay. So as you make your way down this tunnel, you notice a pattern that's emerging. It's 50 or 60 feet, and then two directions. 50 or 60 feet, two directions. However, it's only one direction because every time you go to the end of the hallway, one just kind of indents about 5 feet and stops, and then there's another path. So it's almost like the hallway is these 90-degree angles. And
Okay.
it's a little disorienting because you don't know which way they're heading, but you feel like they're leading you somewhere. So as you kind of, go down this further and further into the depths, there's this eerie quietness about the whole area. You can hear the sound of just your boots hitting the stone floor, again dry, echoing against the wall. You try to walk quietly, right, in case of danger, but it's so quiet that nothing can be muffled by anything. So it's like very, very quiet.
So I'm just loud. Yeah.
So you're just like,
Okay.
you begin to kind of wonder how long this goes. Go ahead and roll perception for me.
16.
Okay, so as you're making your way down one of the tunnels, you notice a very faint thread about 6 feet off the ground from one wall to the other. Upon looking at it, you see that the thread goes into a small hole in the wall, and right above you, you now notice a 6-inch gap in the ceiling, a giant axe locked in place by some sort of mechanism. It looks like if you hadn't noticed this wire, you might have gotten sliced pretty badly.
Okay.
So you managed to get around that, and you saw it before you triggered it. So you make your way deeper and deeper into the lair. Make another perception check for me.
7.
7. Okay, so not too far up from the first trap. As you're walking, you suddenly begin to step on ground that, as you apply your weight, gives way. The ground beneath your feet crumbles. Below you, you see a 10-foot pit with wooden spikes at the bottom. You're now falling towards it. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
That's a success. So as you're falling, you manage to put your hands on solid ground in the front of the pit. You pull yourself up. You watch as the rocks fall down to a 10-foot pit, wooden spikes. You manage to dodge it. Otherwise, you would have taken a lot of damage.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be any more traps in the immediate area.
Okay. I only have one sword, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so after getting past the traps, at the end of the next tunnel segment, you notice torchlight coming from behind the next 90-degree corner. What do you do?
Okay, now I'd like to attempt to be stealthy as far as I can.
That's just, you're stealthy.
I'm now being stealthy.
Yeah.
Can I
Do just for fun. Roll for stealth for this general little area.
natural 20?
Okay, perfect.
I can't communicate with Rob at all, right? It's just kind of like this.
Well, you're telling him what to do.
Right, but he can't communicate to me.
Do you want to have him do something? You can
I
speak
wanna-
snake. It's actually on your
Oh, I can speak snake.
you can talk snake. I guess I figured you would have read it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't read the proficiency.
Okay.
That's my bad. I just kind of want Rob to be a scout a little bit, just to see
Sure.
what's up ahead.
What would you like him to do? Like go a certain amount?
Turn the corner or whatever, and just like look to see is there any signs of life or
Okay. Yeah.
any more torches, like whatever.
Okay. Why don't you roll investigation?
Investigation. Do I add anything for Rob or do
No.
I add my own? Okay.
You can add yours, I guess.
15.
Okay. So Rob slithers over, peering around the corner. All he really sees is just 3 cement steps and 2 torches on either end at the top. A big wooden door, double door. Nobody's around.
Nobody's around.
No one's around.
Okay. Then I guess me and Rob are gonna approach that door.
Okay.
If I look around, do I see or can I listen
Okay.
to the other side of the door?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll perception.
11.
Okay. Putting your ear up to the door, you do hear the faint sounds of barking puppies. It seems like they're not necessarily in the next room, but it seems like the sound's coming from another chamber deeper within. Also, from that same distance, you hear clanging around, and maybe someone who's an individual shouting or speaking, although it's a little too distant for you to understand. But who's ever there doesn't seem to be aware of your presence at this moment. They seem to be shouting themselves. It's very faint.
Okay. Can I get the dog whistle another shot?
Go ahead.
Okay. 4.
Well, regardless, you hear very loud barking.
Now I'm hearing
All
their
this,
reaction.
you're making
to
it very, very reactive. Now what was faint, you hear a lot. It seems to be, it's a lot of dogs. It's a lot of dogs. Yeah.
Okay.
And the individual who was shouting is maybe shouting a little bit more, kind of shouting more.
Angrier.
Yeah, a little angrier.
Okay. All right. I'd like to attempt to stealthily open that door.
Okay.
Those giant doors.
Alright. Just
Nobody's on the other side.
Just
Yeah.
opens. Yep.
Okay. I'd like to look around.
Sure. Are you entering?
I'd like to look around first.
Okay, so looking into the next chamber, right, you see a well-lit, furnished room. Looks very well lived in. There's a lot to the room. You're gonna need to kind of go a little bit more inside to see really what's going on, but it doesn't seem to be anyone in it.
When I'm looking in the room, it only seems like one person lives there, a whole family, a lot of people.
Seems like it's just one person.
One person. Okay.
And the room has two parts. It's a big rectangle and then another big rectangle, but it's elevated by 2 steps.
Okay.
With like small metal, like 2 small metal pillars holding up this, this underground layer.
I'd like to check for more traps just to be careful.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that. Roll perception.
10.
You don't see any traps.
Try to walk in.
Okay. So upon entering this chamber, you find yourself in what looks to be a secret laboratory of some kind. Torches line the walls. You see big barrels stacked to one side of the walls. Could be filled with some sort of liquid wine. To your right side, you see lots of laboratory equipment, a workbench for crafting various traps. There's schematics and random bits of scrap metal, as well as the workbench. The room is actually sort of in 2, right? As I mentioned, there's kind of this other layer to it. Up on the second layer is just this big dining table with a single chair, lots of papers stacked on top of it. Looks like the scramblings of a mad person. And over to the right, to the back, behind where you can see, there seems to be another doorway that goes further. And that seems to be where the noises are coming from and things like that. Like somewhere else.
I'd like to investigate the barrels first.
The barrels?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll. We'll just have you roll for the room.
Okay, I just rolled 19.
19, okay, great. Yeah, so for the barrels, it seems to be filled with milk.
Of course.
The workbench area is really the only other place that has any kind of like noteworthy kind of eye-catching things in it, right? You see a lot of like laboratory stuff, as I mentioned, like glass beakers and maybe some sort of half magical items that you don't recognize. A lot of like tinkering goes on here, metal scrap and whatnot. The only thing that you find there that's like maybe useful to you is like a potion bottle that's like only half full.
I'll take it.
Okay. Half potion.
Half max health. Okay.
True. And then other than that, I mean, a lot of these schematics and things like that, they don't seem to be anything you really understand. It seems very well beyond your comprehension.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Actually, before you kind of get a little too further back to the other side of the room, like the dining table, the double doors behind you seem to lock. And you hear someone from the back room sort of slow clapping. You begin to get a bad feeling as out of the shadows come this large unknown humanoid figure. As it begins to walk forward from the shadows, the light from the torches reveal to be a human body with a giant cow head. He's not wearing any clothes. He's basically a cow man standing on 2 legs. He's got a tail and one massive 2-foot udder just, in his pelvis region. Oh, Eric. I knew that stealing the doggies would bring you to me. I planned this. You can't drink milk. And that really pisses me
I know
off.
that.
Grabbing his one large udder, he's going to attempt to shoot a powerful blast of milk in your direction. 15, what's your armor class?
14.
That hits. Let me go roll damage. Ooh. You take 18 points of room temperature milk damage. He looks to you with these crazy yellow eyes, dilated pupils. Suck my cow dick! Cue the fight music. Roll initiative.
17.
Oh, okay. You actually managed to beat him. Okay, you're up. What are you doing?
If I use the health potion, is that my whole action? Is that...
Do you have something else you want to do with that?
I just wanted to drink the health potion and then probably attack him.
You do one or the other. You can move though.
I can move.
I can let you move.
Is there anywhere I can like take cover? Maybe that dining table.
You can flip the table.
Flip the table and use that as cover.
You want to drink your health potion and then move the table.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Why don't you? So the health potion, which one are you using?
The full one.
You use the full. So you're back at full health.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was down to 1.
Oh shit! Hell yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Okay, you're now back to full health. I'll take that health potion from you. Okay, so you're gonna go up to this table. You flip it, and you just kind of barricade yourself, right? You just kind of like, you got no chance of winning with these milkless bones. You got,
Yeah.
It's Rob's turn.
Okay. Now I see the practical use of close up a man's dick hole.
I can't even hide that I tried to plan that.
Yeah, no. How far can Rob? 30 feet? Is this strange man within Rob's range?
Yeah, you're within range. He's within range.
Okay, I'd like to use Rob to close up his dick hole.
So
I'd like Rob to slither up and close up that dick hole.
Okay. Roll dexterity for your snake.
Sure. Fuck.
What is it?
Natural 1.
It's okay. He also got a natural 1. Yeah. So Rob coils up and springs himself off the ground right at this massive cow udder, coiled himself in the air, kind of wrapping around the member, constricting it, and the whole of the udder is now constricted tightly by that snake Rob. He refuses to give in. He's like, "You think you can stop me?" So now it's the cow creature's attack. So what he's going to do, he's got these angry, glowing red eyes. He's going to attempt to charge at you head first using his cow horns and try to slam you in between the wall. He's going to go right through that table. He's going to try to smash through it. 19 definitely hits. Okay, so whizzing towards you, he slams into you head first. He kind of smashes through the table and you just get torn back by this, and he's still kind of ramming you into the table, and the shards of the table are flying everywhere. Jamming one of the horns into your stomach, he's going to deal 4 points of piercing damage. Now, the force of this attack, lifting you off your feet as he continues charging, kind of crushes you and him between the wall. You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as well. You look up at his menacing pose, an enormous cow member is pointing it right in your direction. It's time for you to move into the afterlife.
You proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself.
Okay.
It's your turn though. What are you doing?
Yes. With that short rest, did I get the second wind back? Or is that only long rest?
It's only long rest.
Alright. I'd like to use action surge to attempt to stab him multiple times with the longsword.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and...
I'm going to attempt to stab towards his udder, his weird udder thing.
You cannot make attacks on specific body parts.
Okay.
It's not allowed. You gotta roll. You gotta see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll just attack him
If
twice.
you're doing a killing blow, I can say how do you want to kill him. But
Gotcha.
yeah, you can't target specific body parts.
Okay. Stab him twice.
Okay. You could maybe stab him in the dick hole. I don't know. We'll see. See if you hit.
Yeah. First attack is for 15.
That hits.
Okay. I'll do damage. Stupid. Okay. 11.
11 damage.
11 damage.
Okay. And then the other one
22
to hit.
to hit.
Okay. That's a crit. Is that a 20?
It wasn't a net 20.
Okay.
9 damage.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So you want to attempt to just stab him twice.
Yeah.
Maybe in the other. Okay. I mean, with those rolls, I'll definitely say you're able to just run up to the dick hole and just, or not the dick hole, but the side of the dick. And he's just like, you definitely feel that he's going crazy. Yeah. He's very, very angry now. It is Rob's turn to attack.
Okay, is he still wrapped around his dick hole, or is that kind of...
Yes. What you can do is, if you want to keep him there, is to kind of maybe try to bind.
Bind.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, go for roll damage, or roll attack.
Natural 20.
Okay, roll a double dice.
Okay, so that's 4 d4s. 3, 6, 10, 12.
12 total.
12 total.
Wow, okay, awesome. Yeah, I mean, this is just like, this is the strongest, like, bind of a dick ever in human history, or cow man history. Your snake friend Rob, he just binds us and he's just, he's really screaming out. He's actual, like, in danger. You see, he's very, like, actually on the verge of, like, passing out or something. He's close. So he's going to, with all this anger, it's his turn. It's time to end this, you abomination. Normal people drink cow's milk. It's that simple. If you refuse to drink milk, then I'll make you drink milk. He reaches over to his desk, the table, some of these kind of items that he has, and he pulls out this giant cubic chunk of what looks to be solid chocolate and ingests the entire thing. Seems to be a substance that he's engineered, because suddenly his white fur begins to turn brown and a powerful aura of energy starts to emit from his body. Wind begins swirling around him from out of nowhere. Holding this giant cow udder while aimed at you, glaring, he shouts, "This is as far as you're gonna get! Behold, my most powerful attack! Chocolate milk volcano!" Okay, awesome. He rolled high, but you do have your snake wrapped around him. So he goes to spray all of this chocolate milk in your direction, but Rob was just tightly hanging on, bound around his udder. With nowhere for all this chocolate milk to escape, he slowly starts expanding, getting really, really fat. Expanding, he begins to get comically large, almost taking up half the room, inflating like a balloon. He kind of notices it's over. In his last moments of anger, he glares at you in your direction. "If I'm gonna die, then I'm taking you with me, boy!" Make a dexterity saving throw.
12.
Okay. Boom! He explodes. Chocolate milk sprays all over the room. With his death, the magic that he used to keep the door locked dissipates, and within that fraction of a second, you manage to get back outside the door towards the tunnel before milk just starts shooting in the doorway past you. So chocolate milk sprays all over, and you manage to not get any on you. So now that everything's settled, Rob, who's not allergic to milk, slithers happily towards you. You peek back into the room that you were just in. It's just covered in chocolate milk and cow. You feel this huge sense of relief knowing that the battle is won, but also, from the sound of many, many orphan puppies coming from within the back room. Walking over to the back, you find this huge, oversized closet full of cages, and within those cages are about 100 happily barking puppies. They're all wagging their tails and seem to be very excited at your presence. So as you feel yourself full of accomplishment, you reflect on everything that's just transpired, you relish in the satisfaction of your effort. Fast forwarding a little bit into the future, you end up returning all these missing puppies to their respective owners. One village is so overjoyed by your deeds that the townsfolk erect a statue in your honor to show the world that not all heroes don the crown's crest. Speaking of which, the town surprises you not only with that statue, but with a very special item. They all pitched their money together to be able to afford you this potion that allows whoever drinks it to be able to drink milk and live a very normal life. Upon drinking this potion, your life becomes very improved. You continue to go on adventures, but you get accepted into the Knighting Academy. You end up settling and getting married with the love of your life, Betsy, the owner of Mama's Milky. You and her own a cottage, and before you head on to your next adventure, she kisses you goodbye. As you leave, you're greeted by a puppy of your own, and of course Rob. He climbs on your shoulder and he's ready to kind of, go to the next battle. The two of you head out to see, what new surprises await you on your next journey. Everything was good because one boy learned to drink his milk. The end.
Wow.
How was that?
That was quite the ending.
Thoughts on your adventure?
That was good.
Hell yeah.
I didn't like the ending, but yeah, that's good.
You didn't like the ending?
I did not like the ending. You get a potion that lets you drink milk, and you drink it. Yeah, I'm impressed. Of course I do.
Do you feel mocked a little bit by the whole entire story?
Yeah, no, it seems like I was the punching bag of a joke, yeah.
It's like my life is just one big joke, and
No, my life is not one big joke. I have one joke that everyone uses.
okay, awesome. Is there any kind of final word that you want to say to any aspiring knights? Maybe you can look at the camera, say some kind of funny final word. Next time, fellow knights, or something. Say something for the future knights of the world.
Always bring a buddy who can help you with your weaknesses, like Rob.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah.